Well, I'm Jim, and this is Barbara, and we're from the greater Charleston, South Carolina area. And we've just experienced the installation of a wonderful elevator for us in our home. And one of the things I wanted to mention right up front was the value, the real value of having good word-of-mouth advertising going on. And that's exactly how we got to residential elevator and the builder that we used. It turns out that as we've talked about to various friends in our neighborhood, and many of them put in elevators, many of them have kind of horror stories and things that they're not too proud of. And so when we would look for references, many of them didn't really feel good to have with a reference. However, it all changed when I met a person that I volunteer with at Water Missions International. We sat down for lunch one time, and he began to talk about his experience of having an elevator installed, and it was wonderful. The builder solved his problem. The elevator company, which was residential elevators, came in and said, "You make that box, we can conform an elevator to fit." And they installed it, and he's loved it. So when it came time for us to consider such a thing, I contacted him immediately. He gave me the phone numbers, the names, and said, "Go to it. You'll have a fun time." And so we did. And true to what we experienced, the builder came out, very pleasant person, understood what was needed to be done. We ended up employing an architect because of some complications in addition, but it was all designed, and we started the process. And we were in the planning process when the builder said, "You're going to have residential elevators here, aren't you?" And I mean, that was kind of quizzical. And I said, "Of course we are." And he said, "Well, okay, I just wanted to be sure because that's really what I'd like to do." And so he contacted you, I believe, and you came over and talked to us about what you offered. And we were very pleased with what you had to say. You answered all our questions, and so we made the commitment right then and there to do it. As things go on and the building started, we had vacation in the middle of it, which didn't help anybody. But in spite of that, the construction was completed, and all during the construction process, Steve was constantly over at our house every third or fourth day with a ruler in hand, taking measurements, making sure everything was going to be done the way it needed to be done. These visits were only 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then he was gone again. But interestingly enough, just before the order went to the factory, he was back again, except this time it was 20 minutes or 25 minutes, and he took measurements all over the place. He wanted to make sure that the elevator was going to be installed properly. And from my experience, all that worrying and all that double checking paid off, because the factory completed our order. We got a notification they were going to arrive at 7:30 on a certain morning, and they were here right when they said they were going to be here. They unloaded neatly, covered everything up in the garage. A day later, the installers came and started the process of installing. And they pulled things apart. They also took pictures along the way to make sure that they documented what they were doing. Did a very professional job. You could tell the smile on their face all the time because everything was working the way it should work. The construction was the way it needed to be, and all the parts they needed were there, and they just spent their time, a very short period of time, they got it installed. The thing works very nicely. So we're very, very happy. And so, Steve, thanks for your part.
Sir, thank you very much for your business, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the elevator.
We hope to, and we hope also that the next time we build a new house, and we do put an elevator in, and we'll do it right from the get-go next time, that you'll have one of these Willy Wonka-vators available, and that's what we're counting on, because we need that.
I'm going to talk to the company about that, and we'll see what we can do next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys again. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.